We want to build the #1 international baseball league.
Oh, what a catch! What a catch, baby!
Like I said, I feel blessed.
The pitcher grabbed by Schlitter goes for the force of the plate.
Ground ball, double play, game over. Wow!
This is a money ball, gentlemen, and this.
Money ball!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Baseball United podcast. I'm your host, Liam Skiffington. As you all know, we've been doing our best to prep for the upcoming Baseball United Arab Classic. We've put in a ton of work, and we're continuing to do so. It's going to kick off November 7th at Baseball United Ballpark in Dubai, our brand new ballpark. And I'm lucky enough to be joined today by a man who has over 25 years of experience in the game of baseball, the technical director for the Saudi Baseball and Softball Federation, Jean-Michel Mayeur. Jean, it's great to see you. How's everything going, man?
Everything's going well so far. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I appreciate you taking the time. So got a lot to cover today, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on your experience and what we have going on here at Baseball United. But to start off, John, can you tell me a little bit about your background and how you kind of first got involved in baseball?
Yeah, sure. And I've been involved in baseball in France for over 30 years now. Players at first and then coaching. Baseball in France is still growing, Baseball is a small baseball community, but a lot of passionate baseball guys. I've worked for the French Federation and the Montpellier Baseball Academy. So academy from 13 to 16 years old players that were practicing every day for the last 20 years. And I got this opportunity to come and work for the Saudi Baseball Federation last year. After a couple trips to Riyadh, I realized that I had to take this opportunity and to go for it.
So, Jam, did you play baseball growing up and then you kind of evolved into your role as a coach and mentor? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, exactly. I've been playing for more than 20 years in baseball. So in the youth categories and then in the first French G1. I had the chance to play for national team also. So when you play for national team, you have chances to travel all over the world and to meet some interesting people, to meet some coaches, some players. I've been playing for the French Division 1, which brings a lot of players from the US, South America, and also Japan. So baseball is still growing, but has a good potential in France, I would say.
How important was that to you to represent France on a national stage in these international tournaments?
To be honest, this is the best feeling ever. Wear the French jersey, hearing the French anthem, the Marseillaise, and have the chance to play for our country is probably the best feeling ever for any high level athlete. So every time we had to do that as a baseball player or coach, for international competition, whether it's a tournament or European Championship, even sometimes for the World Championship, World Cup, it was a great experience, of course. Never forget that.
And then at what point in your career, JM, did you kind of make that transition from player to coach and mentor?
So I always liked coaching. I started coaching when I was 16 in my club. And then I had to coach the French, like the first men adult team in Montpellier, and I was a player and the coach at the same time. I was a catcher, so it wasn't easy to take the right decision and to focus on your game as a player also. So I wasn't playing very well at that moment, and I was missing some good decisions as a coach. So I started to quit. My last season was in 2012. And then I just coached. So I've been coaching the academies and that team, and also the national teams, which was great.
You also worked as the director of the academy that you worked at for almost 2 decades. What were you able to take away from that experience about developing youth talent and kind of creating that pipeline to continue to come up?
Baseball brings you a lot more than what you get on the field. Baseball is also a big life experience, and you can get a lot of things. And as the coach of kids practicing every day, you start feeling that you have an impact on their lives, much more important than just their baseball career or something. I've had the chance to coach some kids that have played in college. actually right now I'm visiting one of those kids. 3 of those kids are playing in the US right now, in college in the US, and you can feel sometimes when you talk about what like their background, their memories in the academies, how important it was to respect some rules and to understand some, respect about the game, but it also works in life. So this was more than a job for me.
When you're coaching, JM, how do you balance the technical aspect of coaching with the emotional development aspect of it? Because you are coaching players that are on the younger side.
Yeah, I would say it's not ABC steps in a notice you have, like when you're coaching kids. Of course, the technical part, like fundamentals, is really important. But you talked about the emotional process and dealing with failure. Baseball has been this. Baseball is not is a different game, and you have to understand what you're doing. So of course, working a lot of fundamentals, but you don't want to beat robots. You want to beat baseball players, and baseball is more than that, of course, as you can understand. So at some point, you need to mix that with some game situation, less talking about fundamentals and technical. So that's one of the best part of the job, finding the right things to do with the kids and with the players to help them growing the best way possible.
Right. And it has to be an individualized approach per each player, because no player is the same emotionally or developmentally, right?
Exactly. Or everybody's different, and you have to understand that first, and then of course you can't have individual practices to a team practice, but you have to deal with that and set the practice as close as possible, like in the best way possible for each of them.
So it seems like you've had a long-standing passion for youth development in baseball. It has to be so rewarding for you, JM, to see these kids that came up through your academy graduate to the next level.
Yeah, it feels great, especially when you talk to them and when you can feel that they're happy to talk to you about what they're living now, all the improvement they can do, and all the opportunities they can have if they're still in France or if they're in the US right now, talking to different coaches or scouts, talking about their how they feel, and just talking with those kids. They are not kids anymore, but talking with those players, that's just really good, really cool sensation.
What are some of the challenges you've run into coaching at the youth level?
In France, and I would say in Europe, you can understand that the culture is not there. Baseball culture is not there. So we're trying to put some of this baseball culture in our communities, and we'd like to get some kids. No, it's not we'd like. It's like we just don't have kids that have been playing in their backyard with their dads, with their friends in school. So we're trying to give them as much baseball experience possible. So we try to set some games, tournaments between our countries, France, Italy, Spain, the Netherlands, the Czech, just to give them more experience to grow as European players. And so I would say the challenge would be, we don't have enough competition. We don't have enough players around our communities that play baseball and that can teach the kids what they need to do. In the US, in South America, in Japan, they have 3, 4 teams for like just a neighborhood. It's just enough to organize a quick championship, a quick tournaments, and it's pretty easy. In France, you have one. In Europe, you have one town, one team. That's it, and you have to travel. So those are the major issues we could have, I think.
JM, I want to talk to you about your current role as the technical director of the Saudi Baseball and Softball Federation. You held your former position with the Montpellier Baseball Academy for almost 30 years. What drove you to transition and make that jump into the Saudi Baseball Softball Federation?
Yeah, so I got in touch with one French American dad, because I used to coach his kid in Dubai for a couple weeks last year, and I kept in touch with him, and he told me that the Saudi Federation was looking for a technical director who they would like to, to develop baseball in the country and to help them finding and working on the development plan. So I got in touch with them and I said, okay, why not? This could be a good opportunity for me. So I made a couple trips to Riyadh, meet the people there, the federation, the board, and I directly understood the potential they had of development. It's been a couple of years that Saudi Arabia opened itself to the world and tried to be in the center of the world, like some of the countries of the Middle East. Baseball is a part of the Kingdom Ledger Sports Development Strategy. They created a many federation in 2019, like a baseball federation, and the idea is to develop, of course, baseball, softball, and baseball 5, because we're part of the same international federation, but also to work to develop national team programs. That's the main role of the federation. I think the potential of development is really big because Saudi people want to try new things now. They're ready and open for it, and especially because we have a big American community in Saudi Arabia that, of course, would be totally open to help us and to be involved in this, to commit in this.
So in your role, JM, as technical director of the Saudi Baseball Softball Federation, what does your day-to-day look like? Like how are you helping kind of drive the growth of the sport in the region?
So there are different parts. Development side, we work a lot with the schools. We've been in touch with many schools in Riyadh and Jeddah. We've been traveling to Jeddah, Riyadh, also Dammam. The idea is to develop and put baseball into the schools. So we are in touch with the directors and try to train the PE teachers in order for them to put baseball in classes, and then we can set some after school activities and then open some academies. That's the first thing. Second part would be structuring the federation. I mean, training coaches, training umpires, scorekeepers, everything that we need to build some games and build championships. And on the last part would be developing the national team program. So organizing tryouts, detection camps, preparation camps, and then organizing tournaments inside or outside the kingdom. That's the main three things we've been doing so far.
So there's 1.5 million baseball fans in Saudi Arabia, which is crazy when you think about it. But also, the Saudi Baseball Softball Federation is the youngest federation. It was developed, as you mentioned, in 2019. That had to have been an attractive piece of this job switch to you as well. It being so young, you kind of having like a full runway to kind of develop this national team and these programs in the country.
Yeah, it's a big challenge, especially because we would say we have nothing yet, but the Saudi Federation is working hard the last 4 or 5 years to structure itself, and the idea is to set the operational part before the technical part. Now we can start putting baseballs into schools, develop the national team programs. And actually we would be wrong to say that there's no baseball in Saudi Arabia, because Little League baseball has been involved in the kingdom for many years now. For more than 50 years, DYBA, which is Dahlan Youth Baseball Association, used to play all the regional tournaments, regional Little League tournaments, and participate several times in Williams Sports, the World Series. So the idea for us as a Saudi Baseball Federation is to get everybody together, all the people that would like to be involved in baseball, to say, okay, now we structure something and we can create some championship, organize some national team programs, participate into international events, and we can succeed on that.
The Federation has certainly made some major strides over the last 5 years. How have the conversations been received about putting baseball in schools, teaching PE teachers how to teach baseball?
They're all excited. They've been doing this for football for the last 50 years, even more. Football is huge in Saudi Arabia. So when we can add something else, a new activity, a new sports to the kids, they are really open-minded and really excited about that. And I cannot remember a PE teacher being unhappy about the baseball training session he had. They all found something different and good benefits that the kid could have playing baseball. So they had somebody say, oh yeah, we can do that. They can throw, they can catch, they can run around the bases and hit. Of course, that's just a new sport to them, and they all love it.
So, JM, what would be your ultimate vision for baseball development in the kingdom, looking down 5-10 years from now?
So we have some targets, 2030, 2034, where we have some big competition coming, the Asian Games coming in Riyadh. So those are big targets for our national adult teams. How I see that right now is just our goal is to put baseball in as many schools as possible. The idea is to get on 3 different towns, Riyadh, Jeddah, and Dammam, which are the 3 biggest towns in the country. Try to develop some championships, some regional championships, and then some national championship. And then after that, or near that, I would say, keep working on the national team programs. So we would start with the Darlan Youth Baseball Association based in Dammam. They have a lot of players there, big baseball communities. So we will build our national team programs around those different teams they have. We're trying to work on 3 sports, baseball, softball, and baseball 5. I think we could put some baseball 5 and softball teams composed with only Saudi citizens in the next couple of years. I think baseball would take a little bit more years to have only Saudi citizens. So that's the idea. I would say is like to develop baseball from the grassroots in the main towns and start building national team programs in the first years. We actually came back from Barcelona with the under 14 Saudi national team. We had the first tournament, which was great for everything, and the kids had fun first, and they had a lot of experience from that because they were playing against big academies, European academies. I would say those kids have a great potential, but they need opportunities to play. That's it.
So earlier this year, JM, we announced our partnership with the Saudi Baseball Softball Federation. How significant is that marriage to the development of baseball within the region?
This is huge, bringing professional baseball league in Middle East, in one of the most dynamic part of the world. It's just great for the development. It's just a great opportunity for us because we bring like some superstars in Dubai and then in Riyadh playing baseball. So what we want is like we need to make baseball fashionable for the kids and for our baseball lovers. You were talking about 1 million, 1.5 million baseball fan in the region. We need to give the wish to the people to come and watch baseball in the stadium, watch baseball on TV, and baseball indeed for that will be a great accelerator for that.
JM, how do you see the Saudi Baseball Softball Federation's partnership with Baseball United continuing to evolve down the road?
Yeah, like the potential of baseball in the kingdom. I think the same potential between Saudi Baseball Federation and Baseball United is huge. We have everything to build together, and in a country that waits for us to develop things. So we just have to go, and things will happen.
Absolutely. And JM, you talk a lot about the grassroots level and how Baseball United is going to help accelerate the growth of the sport within the region. Earlier this year, we announced that we're going to launch 3 franchises in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Riyadh, Dammam, and Jeddah. How important is that to have those professional franchises on the ground in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, I think it's just huge. When you're baseball kids playing baseball, you just live for baseball, and you always have a baseball team that you love. And of course, you have the one in major leagues because everybody's following the major leagues. But if you can have a baseball team in your town with baseball players and with major league players, that brings something else, and all the kids need that actually. So that's, of course, it's huge, and we need that kind of thing to push development and on those 3 towns especially.
So the Baseball United Arab Classic is coming up soon. We're about 2 weeks from the first game, which will be November 7th, held in Baseball United Ballpark in Dubai. How significant is a tournament like this for developing countries like Saudi Arabia?
The Arab Classic is gonna be great. You know, we're talking about organizing the first Arab baseball tournament in the region on a professional baseball stadium. I've been talking with the kids all week long last year about those programs. Of course, the youth programs, but also the adults programs and the Arab Classic especially. And they wanted to watch those games. So I'm in touch with the parents actually to let them know how to make it, how to get some tickets, how to watch it on TV. And this is just great to help us develop, because those kids would like to play like the adults, like this Saudi team that will compete in Dubai.
Well, for those who want to come get tickets, they can get them at Platinum List. And for those that want to watch it, JM, if they're not able to make it to Dubai, they can stream it. They can watch it right on our website, baseballunited.com. It's important to note, this is also the first time in history the Saudi national baseball team will take the field in a tournament of any kind. How significant is that?
This is just great. This is awesome. We've been talking about this with the board, with our CEO that have been working really hard to bring us there, bringing a team there to play a big tournament. All the players are so excited for this. They've been practicing really hard those last month, and I feel proud and honored to coach a team that will represent the country for the first time. So this is a lot of emotion, a lot of things, a lot of feelings, really strong. So I can't wait to be there.
You alluded to this a little earlier, but I have to assume the players and yourself even are excited to see our brand new ballpark. I myself am so pumped to see it. So I can't wait to see the look on the players' faces when they walk into the ballpark.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I've been following all those pictures and videos Baseball United has been sharing for the last couple of weeks, and it's incredible. I can't wait to be there. This baseball stadium looks amazing.
I have to know, JM, when you first heard that we were going to build our own baseball stadium in Dubai, what was your reaction?
To be honest, I didn't trust it was possible to build a baseball stadium in such a small time. I said, how come? How can you guys make it? And finally, it's here. It's ready. So it's that's why I need to be there to trust to see it.
Yep, such a huge undertaking for our organization to build this ballpark in this amount of time to be ready for this tournament. And I think that's certainly a testament to our chairman, CEO, and leader, Cash Sheikh. What has your experience with Cash been like, and how, in your opinion, has he helped kind of drive everything forward with the Saudi Baseball Federation and just with baseball in the region in general?
Yeah, Cash is incredible. He has a great vision about development, and you can feel the passion he has for baseball, of course, but also bring baseball in a region that doesn't have and that has, of course, big potential. But his vision is great, and he wants to help us develop baseball in Middle East, but also Saudi Arabia. And that Cash and his team has been great for baseball, and I can't wait to see how we can start this with the Arab Classic.
When you look at our ownership group, filled with some of the best players to ever play this game, it has to instill a certain level of confidence in you that our league will not only continue to thrive and be successful on the professional level, but also the longevity piece to it, the longevity aspect, continue to develop baseball in these countries like Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's great to see all those names that I've been following for the last 10 years. That gives a lot of credibility and show how Baseball United will be strong and will keep developing baseball in the region. It's awesome.
We said earlier, you're a well-traveled man in the game of baseball. You have a ton of experience. What would you say makes our approach to baseball development so unique?
I would say this approach makes me think about the same approach we have at the Saudi Baseball Federation, especially because we come in a region that doesn't have baseball or not a lot of baseball. And with big organization and big knowledge and experience of the game, you're going to optimize the potential of the region because of those all this experience you bring, for sure help it to be the best it could be.
So the Baseball United Arab Classic certainly is a huge tournament for the region, elevating these national teams, giving these teams a chance to compete head to head. How excited are your players to get over there and compete?
You have no idea. They can't wait to be there. Like we have of course those groups, and when they're talking about that, they want to be at the very first day, the first play ball. They've been practicing really hard those past months. They couldn't be more ready than that. So they have to be there.
What are your expectations for the Saudi national team in the Arab Classic?
So my players have a lot of experience, their own experience, but I have no idea about the teams we'll be facing. I can't wait to be the first day, and I will be watching all the games all day long to have a better idea about of our opponents. So I'd say let's win it. We're here for that. Actually, we are national team, so we want to win the thing.
This tournament certainly speaks to baseball's ability to bring people together. We're uniting 9 nations on the baseball field. What do you have to say on just baseball's power to unite?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. We're going to play against the UAE, against India, against Palestine. It's even more than sports. It's more than baseball and sport. It's just about meeting people, meeting different people and other nations. That's part of the journey. That's why you're doing this after all. So that's what you want to do. And at some point, you can say that you were there. You live that tournament. You coach that tournament, or you play this tournament. That would be something you will hold for your life.
JM, as we wrap up here, what's your message to the baseball fans in Saudi Arabia who can't wait to see your national team take the field soon?
My message: we need you guys. Come and watch us. It's going to be a great event. Our team's pretty strong, and we definitely need fans to come and support us. So we're waiting for you.
JM, I appreciate you taking the time to join me today on the Baseball United podcast. Best of luck to you and your team in the Arab Classic, and I'm looking forward to see how they compete.
Thank you very much. Can't wait to be there.